Alright, so we're going to cover some backward rolls, some stations that you can do for backward rolls. There's many stations you can do for them. We're just going to go over a few. Okay, so right here, you get down. For the backward roll, do your rock and rolls. They should be able to roll, to rock and roll. Chin to your chest. They're learning this round shape. Keep rolling. Okay, this is actually hard for beginners, believe it or not. Come over here. Okay, then right here, they're gonna work on the very first part of their backward rolls. They're gonna work. You're gonna remind them to have of their pizza hands, like they're holding their pizzas. Put the beanbag between your feet. They're gonna roll back, smush their pizza, and drop the beanbag into the hoop, and then push back up. Do it again. I want you to smush that pizza and rub it all over the ground. Smush it hard. Smush it hard. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Come on. How fast can you do it? How fast can you do it? Oh. Two more. Now this last beanbag, I want you to throw it and try to let Tink catch it. Throw it over your head. Throw it! Alright, then, come here, Tink. Right here, when you start out with backward rolls, you want to make sure you start off going downhill or off of something, just like we did with forward rolls. So they're going to start at the bottom. Just for fun, they're going to do crab walks up, working on their arm strength. Okay, now lay down. Now when you do this, only their head is going to hang off the mat. They're going to have their pizza hands. Smush your pizza hands. Okay? And when you help them on these, you want to make sure, pull your toes over. You want to make sure that you're lifting up on their hips so that they're not hurting their head. Okay? Or their neck. Do it again. By yourself. Now you can do it. And then they're going to land in a squat. Squat. Good. Okay? Now that's high, and we're going to go to a little bit lower surface. This is going to make it a little bit harder. Only their head hangs off. Smush your pizza. Pull your toes over. Okay? And then they can do them off the whistle. Now if they're tall, I don't recommend doing it off of here because it's kind of hard if they're tall. But if they're about Tink size or smaller, it's good. Hands down. Pull your feet over. Squat. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay? Now for the students that are having, if it's hurting their neck, or if they're having trouble just getting over a period, this is a really good drill. Hang down. That way they don't have to worry about all the pressure on their neck. They can just focus on getting their feet over their head. Pull your feet over. Land in a squat. Ta-da! This is also a good one for preschoolers too. Okay. And then once they can do all that, they can do them down the cheese. They're gonna start off with backward rolls to squat. Remember when you spot these, you want to make sure that you grab them at the hips and lift up on them so they don't have a lot of pressure on their neck. Do it. Just like this. Ah! Lift up and squat. Squat, squat. Okay? They want to stay in a little ball when they do their backward rolls. Okay, now we're going to do backward rolls to a straddle sting. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, and we can do, these are just variations of backward rolls. We can do backward rolls to a pike stand. And we can do backward rolls to a hollow body push-up position. Hollow. Okay? They probably won't look as good as that. Alright, and then right here, this is safety rolls. Just like we covered earlier with forward rolls, when they go lunge, forward roll, this is a safety roll going backwards. So you can kind of make a game out of this. You can have your students kind of push each other. Lightly, of course. Don't body slam them. So they can just push them, and they're just going to bend their legs and safety roll. Do it again. Bend their legs and safety roll. Okay, and this is a good drill for backward rolls because they're learning how to round their back and roll from a stand position. Okay? And then once they master all of that stuff, then you can start working on the flat surface. Everybody do a backward roll on the floor. It's really important that they have to smush their pizzas and push. Smush and push. Okay? And they want to keep their knees tucked into their chest. The reason backward rolls and forward rolls are important is because one day they have to do this with no hands in the air, such as front tucks and back tucks. Yeah. So if they're not able to do it on the floor correctly, they're not going to be able to do it in the air correctly. Yeah.